I have overcome my nature only through meditation and long study of the way of the voice. No day goes by where I am not tempted to return to my inborn nature. Zimkrifhorut se suyech. What is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?
So yeah, I like the Dark Urge character option in Baldur's Gate 3 a lot. The Dark Urge is arguably the most interesting option for character creation in Baldur's Gate 3. Sure, the game gives multiple options for character creation, allowing players to take full control of choosing character's race, appearance, and background. However, as much as I adore custom characters, they often felt like the odd ones out in RPGs. You see, such characters often felt like tourists in this setting rather than their inhabitants. A much more preferable option for me is when games give you some backstory for your characters. For example, before your player impact in Mass Effect, Commander Shepard could have been a sole survivor of a terrible treasure attack, a war hero against Batarian slavers, or the most ruthless man in the galaxy, making you feel like they're an established character rather than a doll you control. The Dark Urge fills that quota for Baldur's Gate 3, giving a fully customizable origin character that feels unique to their supporting cast, having their own role to play in the game's plot, while still giving a player a lot of opportunities for decision making. Now, some of you might be commenting, but Ace, what about the other origin options like Gale, Will, or Asterion? Sure, you can't customize them as much as you can customize the Dark Urge, but they still have a part of a story to play and add a lot of interesting variety to each new playthrough. Those are all true statements, but I will say the least brave thing anyone can say regarding origin characters. I just think they're more interesting as companions. I'm going to say something really weird, but stick with me on this one. My main complaint is when you play as origin characters, you have more control over their actions, which can greatly contrast with their core values as companions. For example, Will and Karlach have a strong devotion to helping innocent people in need and dealing with evil characters. Therefore, when you slaughter a bunch of innocent tiefling children, they will state,
"As I feared, there is no place in your company for a hero. I want no part of this, or of you."
Greatly contrasts later when you play as either of said characters and they throw an axe into a child's face in order to later have a good night with their true GF. Sure, we can headcanon that Will or Karlach would have allegedly abandoned their noble intentions before the events of the game, but that greatly contrasts with what the game states to us through the in-game world. A more fitting design for them would be akin to that of Geralt of Rivia as a playable character. You have input into his choices, but they still have a narrative sense. Can I believe that Geralt can contemplate on asking a person to pay up after saving them from a monster? Yes, I can. Can I contemplate that Geralt of Rivia will decide to kill a village full of innocent people just for fun? Yes, no. This is why the Dark Urge is such a good character option for a game like Baldur's Gate 3. Not only connecting the third title to the rest of the franchise, but also giving freedom of opportunity for character creation. Because the Dark Urge was someone before their corruption. A person with family, goals, and motivations, and at the start of the game, you allow them to revisit that part of themselves that they've forgotten about, thus giving you an option to pursue your evil self or to conquer it through acts of heroism. This is what makes D&D amazing in my eyes. Not the combat, not the setting, but the fact that your character exists and have existed. When you approach a certain plot point and the DM gives you a story relation that is relevant to your character alone and no one else's, it immerses you and makes your character feel real within the world that is created. Larian Studios have done a phenomenal job of executing a very unique premise for a backstory that doesn't railroad a character commit certain actions. So I'd prefer their future games, or any RPGs they would work on in the future, would have similar origin backstories for variety in gameplay. And I'm sure that the AAA market would listen to the audience demanding more from RPGs, or from AAA games in general, and will listen to their fans, because big studios and developers wouldn't release a game that is actually harmful to their previous work's narrative choices. That is just silly. You're silly.